भारती न्यूज, सीधा, सटीक और निष्पक्ष।
Good evening and welcome to Bharati News. I am Bhavya Juneja and let's have a look at the biggest news of the day. Here is the national news first. The Maha Kumbh area has been declared a no-vehicle zone. VVIP passes have been cancelled and roads leading to the fair have been made one way for smooth movement of devotees. A day after 30 people were killed in a pre-dawn stampede in the Sangam area on Wednesday 30. People died and 60 others were injured as millions of devotees jostled for space to take a holy dip on the occasion of Mauni Amavasya at the world's largest religious congregation. Following the tragedy, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath held a late-night video conference with senior police officers and officials from several districts including Prayagraj, Kaushambi, Varanasi, Ayodhya, Mirzapur, Basti, Jaunpur, Chitrakoot, Banda, Ambedkar Nagar, Pratapgarh, Rai Bareli and Gorakhpur. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday paid tributes to Mahatma Gandhi on his death anniversary and said that his ideals motivate us to build a developed India. The Prime Minister also remembered martyred for our nation and recalled their service as well as sacrifice on Martyrs Day. It is pertinent to mention that India observes Martyrs Day every year on January 30 to mark the death anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi and to honor his contribution towards the freedom of the country. Coming to international news now. An American Airlines passenger flight collided mid-air with a US Army helicopter and crashed into a river while on approach to the Reagan International Airport near Washington on Thursday. 2 bodies were recovered from the Potomac River as multiple agencies are involved in a search and rescue operation. 60 passengers and 4 crew were aboard the passenger jet that was en route from Wichita in Kansas to Washington. The American Airlines said the flight was operated by PSA Airlines. Alex Soros, son of American billionaire George Soros and chairperson of his Open Society Foundations, met Bangladesh's interim government head, Muhammad Yunus. Days after the Donald Trump administration halted foreign aid to the Asian country, this is the second meeting between Soros and Yunus in 3 months after the duo met in New York last year in October. Weeks after the Nobel laureate took charge following the fall of the Sheikh Hasina regime. Coming to business news now. Shares of Bajaj Auto rose sharply in early trade on Wednesday as investors reacted positively to the company's Q3 results. The two-wheeler company's stock rose over 5% to hit a day's high of 8,830 rupees on the Bombay Stock Exchange. At around 12:27 p.m., shares of the company were trading 3.70% higher at rupees 8,702. Bajaj Auto posted a 3 year-on-year increase in standalone net profit for the December quarter. Net profit stood at rupees 2,109 crore, while revenue from operations grew 6% YOY to rupees 12,807 crore. On a sequential basis, profit after tax rose 5% from 2,005 crore in the September quarter, though revenue fell 2% quarter-on-quarter. President Droupadi Murmu is scheduled to address both houses of parliament on Friday to mark the commencement of the first part of the budget session 2025. The session will run from January 31 to February 13, 2025. The second part of the session is set to begin on March 10 and will conclude on April 4. Following the President's address, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will present the Union Budget on February 1. The fourth session of the 18th Lok Sabha will commence on Friday, January 31, 2025, subject to exigencies of government business. The session is likely to conclude on Friday, April 4, 2025, an official notification from the Lok Sabha Secretariat said. Coming to sports news now. Usman Khawaja scored only 184 runs in 5 matches in the 2024-25 edition of the Border-Gavaskar Trophy. After a flop show in the series, many former cricketers called for his retirement from the format. But the Australian team management backed the opener and that resulted in him scoring a big ton in the first test against Sri Lanka at Galle International Stadium. The 38-year-old made an unbeaten 147 runs and will be hoping to convert that to a double ton on day 2. Former India international Shikhar Dhawan is set to lead Delhi Royals in the inaugural edition of the Legends 90 League. Slated to begin on February 6, the Southpaw previously led the national team in a 3-match T20I series against Sri Lanka and also in 12 ODIs. He also led Sunrisers Hyderabad and Punjab Kings in the Indian Premier League. Dhawan played 68 T20I matches in his career, scoring 1,759 runs at a strike rate of 126.36. Ahead of the IPL 2025 retention deadline, the Delhi-born announced retirement from all formats, but expressed the desire to keep playing in whatever capacity possible. He then featured in Nepal Cricket League and will also participate in second edition of the World Championship of Legends. So that concludes our news bulletin for today. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned to Bharati News for continuous coverage and more updates. Wishing you a good evening and a great night ahead.